when you do something in this game, there's always a risk and a reward.
Why are we rich? I bought cum rocket, or I bought dog whiff hat.
So yeah, we'll hit that in a moment if it shuts. Been dabbling in the world of meme coins at the moment and here in the daily as well. We've ran into it, taking out Friday's high. You're going to have your high moments, but you're also going to have your low moments, and about 15 grand's worth of drawdown.
What's happening, people? How we doing? It's Monday. Just on a walk with Steph. Got some chicken wraps. Steph there. Just want to get our steps in. I just got taken out of an EU short that I was in on Friday, and it's honestly the worst trade I think I've ever been in my entire career. I spent 25 hours in drawdown and then got taken out. So yeah, good vibes, fun, but it's all good. Just wanted to say big ups to all of you that took a lot of value from last week's video. If you haven't watched that, go and check it out. So definitely share some very important insights into things that I've found, and it was interesting to see a lot of you had found similar stuff. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes. So I think I need like 5% to pass phase 2 at the moment, and then I need a couple of percent on some of the others after that L. I might try double risk on some of these accounts just because the win rate's high, get them done. Loud noise incoming, plane about to go over my head. But yeah, I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna walk back. It's starting to rain, it's windy. Where have you gone? Oh, can't see you that small. I was explaining to Steph about meme coins and all that rubbish and how someone became like a millionaire off of cum rocket, which is a very weird, and she's laughing in the background. Interesting, man. Imagine saying when you're older, like, you know, why are we rich? I bought cum rocket, or I bought dog whiff hat, or silly goose, or some of these mad things. But yeah, interesting times we live in. The fact that you can just buy some of these meme coins and people are making ridiculous money is interesting. I'm definitely willing to chuck a grand at it and see if I can play around with it and see what happens. So I'm just looking at that. And yeah, obviously having a little gander at crypto and stuff, just looking at ways to diversify some money in there. But yeah, other than that, it's starting to rain. I'm gonna get soaked. I'm gonna eat this. Catch you in a bit.
Right, remember, guys and girls, so Darwin X have now introduced futures. So link in the description for Darwin X, check them out. If you just basically come over here, you can obviously pick which one you want. You've got MT4 Forex, MT5 Forex, and then you've got CME futures. It is an extra €5 per month due to the extra data feeds. If you pop in at ALB20 as well, you can save yourself a little bit off the initial payment. The monthly subscription doesn't start until your Darwin's created. So while you're on the initial steps, which is basically 10 trading days and then 20 trading decisions, kind of works out at 20 trades across the board, then you'll start paying the monthly fee. Yeah, obviously check that out if you're interested. I know a lot of people are looking to trade futures at the minute, and a lot of people, is there any option? So like I say, Darwin X have integrated that. So check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. You can go over there, grab yourself an account and give it a whirl. Obviously you can build allocation with them, build your track record. I've done numerous videos on them now. So yeah, if you don't know, then get to know. And yeah, I'm just going to crack on with the rest of the day. Got a few bits and bobs to sort out, and I'll pick this up in a little bit. Tuesday, it's quite late in the afternoon now. I'm just about to head out in a moment to get kids from school. I was waiting to see if anything was going to set up on the charts this morning, but it didn't let me in. So brief overview. Yesterday, I wanted to get in this yesterday, but it swept at a time that wasn't in my session. So obviously we had this sweep. Fucking hell, that shit. We had this sweep over here. That's not much better. That swept at like 9:45, and it didn't quite give me my entry until late, so I waited. And then this sweep over here happened out of my session, but I had that feeling that it was just going to send it. Obviously taking out Friday's high. I was said on the daily I was bearish. I was looking for a pullback into this level here, which we got. So to be honest, I should have probably hit it yesterday. That's where sometimes having too strict a time can do you a disservice. For those asking me about trading sessions and whatnot, that can do you a disservice based on sort of that half an hour difference. If it's hit a certain level, sometimes you are just better off hitting it and taking the risk, even if you maybe score those trades as high risk as opposed to you know, lower risk. Because for me, trading the window I trade sort of between 8 and 10 and sort of 1 and 3, it does filter out a lot of shit. They're when the most volumes in the market for me, but at the same time, often there are times where you do miss those moves that are just so good like that. I mean, that, if you look at that from face value, even before it's followed through, you had this really slow corrective build-up of liquidity. We'd pulled back, we'd clipped the bottom of this level that had caused this major sell-off. You kind of had this buy to sell price action, had a massive fair value gap within here in the daily as well. We've ran into it, taken out Friday's high. You know, we've now got a target you know, if you take those lows out, beautiful little trade. Didn't get in it, is what it is, not going to dwell on it. Moving forward, this morning I wanted shorts again, but it just went from Asia. There was nothing I could do this morning. I'm not going to sell randomly down here and hope, even with a bigger stop, because that's one thing I wanted to share as well. You know, obviously last week I spoke heavily on bigger stops and how much more beneficial they can be. If you haven't watched last week's, definitely go and check it out. I'll leave a link below, or I'll put a link up here somewhere you can click on it. But essentially what I wanted to highlight as well is just because you've got a bigger stop, it doesn't mean you can get complacent or you can get giddy and you can start taking shit trades, because it will still catch you out. You still have to have a reason for entering. The bigger stop is just a cushion for the less perfection and just getting in. And it's also great if you're busy, you're living a busy lifestyle. A couple of people have been asking me about MTJ. So obviously, as you know, I've been using this for about a month and a half, something like that. And while I think it's really good, I spoke to developers, I gave them a ton of feedback, I gave them loads of ways to improve it and things that I believe truly will make journaling a game changer. I have noticed still nothing really moving forward. Still a few things a little bit clunky and not the best. And there's something about the colours that just annoy me. I don't like them. So at the moment, I'm probably just going to continue using Notion for the time being until they implement the stuff. Purely because I don't want to be using something that's not perfect. I feel like maybe it's still... I know it is in beta. You know, it says it's in beta. I know it is in beta, and I said that at the beginning. For me, my Notion is probably the best I've got. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight that for anyone that's on the free trial. If you're not happy with it, like I said before, if you're not happy with it, then bounce. Do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that. Now cancel it, and then when and if they sort things out, I may come back. I may not. I do really like TradeZella as well. You know, I liked it, the look of it. It looks a lot better in my opinion. But again, it still lacks some of the features that I was saying that this needs as well. So we'll see. Maybe I can have a chat there and see if I can implement my stuff. You know what? I wish I just built my own one. I wish I just built my own trade journal. If I had the know and understood what needed to go into it, I probably wish I just did that. Because I think when you've got an idea in your head, it's like you want to just implement it and you know how you want something. But I also understand it costs a lot of money, a lot of time, and probably maybe some of the stuff I think or want added in, maybe it can't be done, I don't know. Been dabbling in the world of meme coins at the moment, and they all completely are stinking up the gaff. Again, I was very happy to lose the money, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, we'll see what happens with EU. I'd like to get some of these challenges completed this week. FOMC tomorrow, I feel like it's going to be a big one. I feel like none of the news events this month really did anything substantial. So I feel like we could be seeing that happen tomorrow. A little bit frustrating on 2 days, you know, wanting to get in these trades. Beautiful price action. Anyone that caught these EU shorts laughing because they're clean. But yeah, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to go school run in a minute, pick up the girls. And then, yeah, come back, make some dinner. And probably play some Call of Duty and just chill out tonight, I think. Have a little bit of a chilled one. What's happening, people? How we doing? Just made some breakfast. Egg on toast on sourdough. Just waiting for EU to close on the 15-minute here. And then I'm going to look to get short. Bias overall is short, even though we've had this bounce yesterday off this level. It could push higher into this, but obviously I'm just going to continue following my idea. It is FOMC today, so we may have some manipulation. We may just do this for the whole day and then go. So we'll see. I will have quite a wide stop. So if I do, then I'll be able to get in here. I'll probably give it 20 pips, to be honest. Cover this Asia from yesterday. Cover some of this from the day before, going on the 1 hour, covering this imbalance and whatnot. If it's going to go, it's going to go. If it's not, it's not. So yeah, we'll hit that in a moment if it shuts, and then see if we can get to these lows. But I'll also happily take 1 hour off this trade. To the vlog. Say what's up? No? Alright. We're going to take him out for a walk, get him out so he's done, and then going to come back. I've got a couple of bits to catch up on. I'm in the trade now, so for me, trading's done right now. I'm just like, I've got to manage this. It's either going to be honest with you, it's going to hit TP or it's going to lose. All I'll do is I'll just set alerts near TP to ensure that if it's hovering around it, I'll just get out, whatever. Or I'll monitor it. If it's coming in with momentum and I think it can take the low out, then cool. If Fun and Pips sorted this out where you could copy trade, I think it'd be game changing. Obviously, once this account's live, I am going to switch to C Trader because personally, I prefer it. Obviously, you've got the app. You can just access it on the go if you need to. I'm going out now. I can't access this in theory and do anything with it. The desktop app on the phone is shocking. And obviously, when it's on C Trader, it'd be much easier just to copy trade like I can with Alpha. Obviously, for me at the moment, Alpha have been absolutely incredible. The stuff they've got in place, the way they're doing things, the way they're listening, taking on feedback, the way they're set up. massive fan. So if you're looking for a prop account, because a few of you asked me last week, as I've said for the last few weeks now, check out Alpha Capital, the link below. They do free trials, so you can check out their spreads, you can check out everything. You can obviously grab yourself an account. I think code 20 is valid for the whole of March. Save yourself 20%. So definitely check that out. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. Obviously the TP's set. Hopefully it closes on funding pips. There's not a lot I can do if it doesn't. Obviously in a little bit of drawdown from the L streak that I was on a 3L streak. So, you know, if this hits, we're back to BE, and then I need basically 2.5 wins. And then the other accounts, again, similar. I need like, I think 3 or 4 wins on the bounce, and I'll pass everything. Or I'll be very close. I think FTMO is the one that won't, because it's 10%. But yeah, I'll keep you posted. I'm going to go for the walk, and I'll catch you in a bit.
You want to go for a walk? All right then, no licking the camera. We'll go. Yeah? Exciting people, how are we doing? I'm in the car with Steph. Although it's not focusing on Steph. But I'm in the car with Steph. We're just going to get some lunch. So that EU short this morning, it hit TP when I was on dog walk with Bruno, which is happy days. So the free loss streak remains as a free loss streak. It's the most I've seen over the last couple of years on data. So it's always good when that happens. Obviously when you're in a 3L streak, it doesn't matter who you are, you naturally can get a little bit like, oh, what if the 4th happens? But you've got to trust your data, and you've also got to be aware that new data can present. If the 4th did happen, you can't be like, oh my God, the edge doesn't work, and shit your pants. You know, I tweeted about this morning. I think far too many people have come into the space and they're too emotional. People think that they put a bit of money into something, such as prop accounts or investments or crypto or whatever. They think they're guaranteed to make money, and you know, that's where you're flawed, because you're shown this lifestyle by a lot of fuckboys online that, you know, come into the space, they make a bit of money from doing whatever, they glamorize it, they drive Lamborghinis, they have nice lifestyles. You don't actually know the ins and outs of what they do, and then you assume you can kind of emulate that. And, you know, a great example is, even if you have live accounts and you're 3% in drawdown, if that's your only source of income, you're naturally going to want to try and get out of it, or you're going to feel a certain way, you're not going to be making money. And trading carries uncertainty, and it always will. No matter how good a trader you are, no matter how good you get at trading, you're going to have your high moments, but you're also going to have your low moments. Obviously, I'm trying to showcase that and share that on these videos, which, you know, I'm getting some great feedback on, so big ups to all of you for watching. Really enjoying this kind of content, and, you know, I'm just enjoying just sharing along the journey. But, you know, I really want to try and make that a point blank obvious thing, that trading doesn't carry a guarantee. You don't get to a certain level. Let's say you get funded and you're like, right, cool, I've completed it. Because when you get funded, you've got to keep that funding. Things can happen in the industry, as we've noticed over this last sort of 12 months, that are unexpected, that you can't plan for. You have to have backup plans, contingencies in place, plan Bs, plan Cs. Not saying that you should have plan Bs and Cs so that you can fail and DOS, but so that if something happens, or your source of income is cut off from trading, or you spend a couple of weeks or months in drawdown, or you lose all your funding, or whatever it is, and you're trying to recover from it, you can keep your mental psyche in check, and obviously you can keep yourself in check, and it doesn't then sort of, you know, leak into your home life or your relationships or being a parent. Your kids will clock, trust me, as they get older, they'll know if you've got the ump or if something's wrong, and it's just not a nice place to be. So make sure that you're not building this expectation. Let's eradicate that expectation. Let's not get it twisted. Trading's changed your life 1,000,000%, and it can happen in a year. That's the beautiful thing with trading. But don't be so obsessed with every trade, every outcome, every pip, every move, because it's just a recipe for causing yourself to feel a certain way, get emotionally heightened, make poor decisions. That house is for sale, by the way. The one we look at.
I told you that 2 weeks ago.
Oh. For March, I'm sat at 3%, took 9 trades, won 6, lost 3. So happy days, like 66-70% strike rate, give or take. I'm hoping the next couple of days are going to, you know, provide some more wind, but at the same time, I'm very careful of not setting an expectation. At the end of the day, if we finish March at 3%, on $1 million in funding, it's still 30k before split and tax. You're not going to whine at that, but obviously, because we have challenges and targets to hit, you're like, oh, come on, let's get it done. But again, you know, like I said, don't bring those bad habits in, because it is long-term not going to serve you. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but yeah, just so I want to keep pushing on the, you know, on the content and sharing with you all, because I think it's important. And I also think it's important to do things like this, where you go for lunch with your other half, or with a friend if you haven't got another half, or with your kids if they're off school. Make sure you make time, like I said before, for the loved ones and the people that are around you and that support you on the journey. Because I give Steph her props. I've done some mad stuff in my life. I've done some mad jobs, and I've taken on anything, and never once has she said to me, "You're off your head, mate. Go and get a normal job."
You just kept me up at night instead.
Yeah. Potentially waffling, but she's never once, you know, not believed in me, and I think that's really special and really important. And I understand it's rare to find, but when you do, make sure that you do just do these little things. It might seem silly just going for a coffee, getting some lunch, but it's powerful. It's nice to break up the day. I've traded this morning. I'm likely, judging by you, not going to trade this afternoon purely because it's absolutely fell off a cliff. So anyone that caught that, big ups. And also with FOMC being later, we might just see a range being built now. Keen to see what happens because it's kind of like we've sold off in London. So is that front running what's going to happen, or are we going to absolutely send it? We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to grab some food.
What's happening, people? How are we doing? It's Thursday. It's the afternoon now. I've had a bit of a stressful day, to be honest, and a bit of a stressful evening. So Paragon over at Elysium, one of the systems there, unfortunately it's broken its max drawdown of 5 years live, and it's kind of in uncharted territory at the moment. Very stressful time, not only for us but for obviously the clients that are over there, and yeah, it's not ideal. So it's been a little bit of a tough day. Just trying to make sure we're getting in touch with people, letting people know what's going on. Sort of hit about 21% drawdown, I believe. We do have an equity stop loss at 30%, which is obviously put in place to protect clients' capital, so it doesn't just go to zero or anything. Really tough market conditions for the system at the minute. It's just struggled. It's had such incredible months. It's never had a drawdown month in 5 years. But obviously, yeah, at the moment, it's a little bit stinky. It's been in this drawdown for a while. Obviously, I'm involved in it myself. I'm in about 15 grand's worth of drawdown. So yeah, it's not ideal. I knew the risk when I got involved in it, obviously, and it just is what it is. It's part of investing. It's part of anything. There's a risk, and whilst there's a reward, the other side is there's always a risk. But yeah, hopefully by the time you're watching this, it's got out of it and all is good there. But if not, like I said, the equity stop loss is there for a reason. Little bit tough, a little bit of a tough one to deal with. It's quite hard to process it, but at the same time, it is what it is. There's nothing that can be done. This is trading, financial markets at the end of the day, and no matter what asset you trade, there's always a risk, and you have to accept those risks. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Like I say, just something to deal with. So I've not really been feeling like the best to vlog, but at the same time, as always, we keep it real. We share the realities of, running a business, being a trader, parent, entrepreneurship, partner, health, life. We've got it all going on here, and, I wouldn't have it any other way. I appreciate all of you for watching, supporting, and yeah, we crack on. So other than that, I did take an EU long today as well. And to be honest, emotions were high, and I probably shouldn't have taken the trade. Not just saying that in hindsight because it lost, but it was one of those that I could avoid. This morning we had the Euro news, we had German and French news, which obviously sort of caused this sell-off, which, I was thinking of, okay, it's pushed it down lower. We're going to see that kind of bullish push in New York. So I was looking for, we've had the sell-off, we've kind of come back in, we've mitigated down here. We've then pushed up, we've kind of then started to range this sweep here. I got in here and I was just looking to sort of take out these highs. Someone's going to tell me about Asia bot swept, you shouldn't do that. Bro, I don't give a shit. It's great that you know what the market's going to always do. You're probably a billionaire. But yeah, so took the L. Like I say, it's very avoidable for me. This is one of those trades that I would always say, you can avoid. And unless you're in profit and you're having a good month, they're the ones you can sort of take the risk on. They're a higher risk position. Realistically, better to sit out. I am in profit for March. Like I suggested, I'm up 3%. I'm now up 2%. So I guess I had it to use, if you like, but what it does do is it sort of wipes out yesterday's win, which is the only caveat to doing one-to-ones as such. You will wipe out a win with one loss, and obviously you want to have frequent wins, and that's what this system provides for me. Now, I had around a 66% strike rate this month so far. That's probably a little bit lower now. I took that L, but still well above where we need to be. Obviously, if we're finishing 2% still all good. Like I said, 2% on a mil is still 20 grand. 2% on half a mil, still 10 grand. Like, you're not going to say no to that for a month for trading, but at the same time, if you've got to pass challenges or you've got targets to hit to pass these challenges, as I have myself, 2% doesn't feel like a lot, and it can feel like there's quite a slog going on to get that rest of the percent. Someone asked me last week, if you've got a high strike like this, could you not just start risking 4%? I mean, you could. To pass prop, you need 2 wins essentially. But there's always, again, the risk, like I'm talking about, and this is something that I don't think enough people weigh up often in the financial space anymore, is when you do one thing, when you do something in this game, there's always a risk and a reward. Now, obviously, the reward could be you might go and pass that prop firm in 2 trades, have a live account within a week or 2. The risk is you could just blow it up. So you have to ask yourself, are you happy to risk, say, £500 and give yourself 2 chances? Or are you happy to risk £500 and give yourself 10 chances or 5 chances or however you deem your risk to be? Yes, I have a high strike rate, and yes, this month when it started, I had a 5 win streak. So arguably, yes, if I started with 4% risk, I would have passed all challenges, all phase 2s, and probably had a payout. However, I then went on a 3L streak, so I would have blown it all up. Are you in a position where you can risk that money to, you know, just completely send an account into space and buy a new one? And is that what you want to do? Obviously, I get everyone's trying to secure the bag, and you know, people want quick money these days. And yes, there's a chance to make obscene amounts of money. You've only got to go on Twitter and see people making like 100k in a week off of small accounts on prop to know it can be done. But at the same time, you don't know what's going on the back end, and that's all I ever say is just be mindful of that before mirroring yourself off of somebody else. Friday, I've just got back from a walk. I've been spending most of my morning doing some testing, to be honest, just gathering a bit of data on a couple of things that I've noticed. And it was actually yesterday's trade that piqued my interest. You know, like I said to you, it was a very easily avoidable trade, but it was a trade that I took based on a little bit of emotion, perhaps obviously wanting to rush a little bit, you know, and get things done. And it kind of, when I was going over it, when I was logging it and journaling it, which obviously, you know, like I always say, it's really important that you actually take screenshots of the trade. You don't just let, if you are using an automated journal, you don't just let the automated journal just say you took a trade on this day. You want screenshots of, you know, what you took at that moment, because it's easy for you to reflect on. So when I went back over it, not only could I have avoided it just on face value with a 15-minute, but I also noticed another filter that I used with the 5-minute when I was trading the 5-minute way that actually would have kept me out of it as well. So that's also super interesting, because that I then decided to go and implement and run over a load of data using that filter with the bigger stops. And damn, it's it's pretty powerful. So I'm excited with that, and this is why I believe everything happens for a reason and certain things happen, and the way the events were yesterday led me to that point. I may not have stumbled upon that if I hadn't done what I did and the things that happened hadn't happened. So like, I always keep things open-minded and always look at different perspectives to every situation in life, and I think you have to. And I'm not preaching here and saying like, oh, everything's going to be good, look for the good all the time, but you kind of have to. Like, there's always 2 sides to every situation. So like I say, March has been a little bit tough, but I've just run over March with this filter, and it's not even been tough. That's not even correct. It's been good. But yeah, if you look here quickly, so this is March. These are all the trades that I actually took, but some of them that lost are not there because, well, I wouldn't have taken them with the filter. So the exciting thing there is for March, I think I should be sat at 8%. I'm actually only sat at 2%. So that discrepancy for me is great, because I can track my performance based on, right, well, you should be on this, you're not. Obviously, you know, in the moment, different things going on in life, you may miss a few here and there, but I need to get as close to that as possible. And one thing I've always done, I always bar replay the month that I've been in, that I've traded, and I put all the trades that I took live on the chart, and then I bar replay it with the same set of rules. And I go, would I have actually taken that? Like, does it make sense to have taken it for starters? I look at any similarities, any things that perhaps are, you know, off or could be improved on. And then I also look at trades that maybe I missed or could have avoided had I had the filter. This filter potentially has just allowed me to filter out like 4 L's, which is huge, because especially doing lower risk reward, you want to get as many L's filtered as possible. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes. I know a lot of people got a lot of value from last week's video, and it was sick to see and hear, you know, even the comments, there was a lot of value being dropped. And I love that about like the community we've got on YouTube. It's sick because everyone's just trying to help people. There's no egos, none of that bullshit. You know, I ain't got time for that. My Mac just turned off randomly. It keeps doing this, you know. You know what, yeah? I love Apple, innit? Everything I've got's Apple. But lately, since they've been bringing out all these new Macs, I got the MacBook Pro 2022. Got it in the middle of 2022. Brand spanking, right? All of a sudden now, my computer just starts restarting on itself, just starts shutting down. And I'm like, yo, what are you trying to do? Make me buy another one? Like, I swear they do it with phones. I feel like they're doing it now with this. Like, I ain't trying to buy a new Mac, man. Shit needs to last longer than that. Like, what is going on? Now I've got podcasts playing out loud. All my computer's gone skits. Nuts. But yeah, I'm going to go for a walk. The way the charts are going at the moment, I will be very surprised if I get anything today. Obviously, EU has just fell off a cliff. And I actually was, am I still long or am I short now? I know we're going to be probably turning short. I say I know like I'm fucking the bank. I don't know, but from what I can see, it looks like we'll be turning short. Sorry, my Mac's going nuts. So probably be short from Monday. Therefore today, I am still looking long, but the way it's fell out the sky on a Friday, I can't see me getting anything. But we'll see. I'll have a look. I want to do a bit more data collection and stuff in a bit, and then I think me and Steph are going to grab something to eat again. She's at the gym and stuff at the moment, and then I'm going to go for a walk, get my steps in, and then once that's done, might just go and grab something to eat, and just chill out a little bit. Do you know what I mean? It's been one of those weeks. It's been a little bit of a testing, stressful week, so it's important to just make sure you are relaxing and chilling. But I have got a couple of bits and bobs I'd like to do, and then yeah, other than that, I'll pick this up in a little bit. If I don't, just want to say big ups to all of you for watching, supporting, liking, subscribing. If you're new to the channel or if you're not subscribed, just subscribe. It's literally free. It's a click of a button. We keep shit 1,000,000% real. I share absolutely everything with you all. And I'm just documenting and building and growing. And, you know, even for myself, looking back at where I've been and where I've come, I'm buzzing and I'm gassed for these next, this next chapter. So yeah, do me a favor. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you have subscribed, put the bell on just so you know what's going on. Sunday, 9 a.m. We know how it is. And yeah, without further ado, I'll catch you all next week. Peace and love, gang.